they were products of the American public schools. I mean, my dad graduated from high school in Rockford and worked in small town banks for a while, and then realized he wasn't going to get any further when the job he had was taken over by a bookkeeping machine. He realized that he needed more education, and he borrowed money and went to the University of Minnesota and got his degree in business and economics. And my mother, at that time, women, of course, didn't have an equal chance with men, but they needed women to teach one-room country schools. And she, in the state of Iowa, provided postgraduate education in selected school districts for women to go to school and to become teachers. Mm-hmm. And she always wanted to be a teacher, so she did that. And one of the selected school districts was in Rockford, so she had lived there as a youngster before, but her father was an engineer on the Rock Island Railroad, so they moved around quite a bit as his run got changed. And she and my father started dating, and from then on they soon got married. And because she had been a teacher and wanted to teach, she had actually taught high school for a year or two out on the West Coast. Her grandparents lived near Seattle. And she liked teaching very much. And actually, when my father graduated from the university, he literally took the job that she had in the little town of Kent, Washington, which is sort of between Seattle and Tacoma. Now it's all city the whole way, practically, all urban area, but Kent was then a country town. And then eventually my dad became a teacher in Seattle. He worked his way into the big city school system, which paid better, and that's where he spent his life.
Your dad?
My dad.
He spent his life in Seattle?
Yeah, and I was born in Seattle.
Okay.
In the Swedish hospital in Seattle, which says something about Seattle. Seattle at that time was the other end of the railroad from Minnesota, and there were a great many Minnesotans there. When I married a Minnesotan and we decided to come to Minnesota to live, it didn't seem like going to a strange place at all. It seemed it was going to the place I'd heard referred to as back home. As I say, it was literally, my folks were both from Iowa, but my mother was born in Canby, Minnesota, and right on the border. They crisscrossed the border frequently.